Hello to all my Yellowjackets out there. My name is EJ Marino and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if this is your first time. I am so happy to be here talking about season 3 of Yellowjackets with you all today. Yes, I have been able to see the first 3 episodes, but tonight we're talking about the first 2 that have premiered. Yes, goodness, grab a snack, sit down. Hopefully that snack is not one of your friend's legs that you've been trapped with in the woods. Yeah, anyways, we're going to be talking about the episodes It Girl and Dislocation. Wow, I want to say I'm happy to be back in the world of Yellowjackets, but what a twisted world to want to venture into. There is nothing like this show on TV. It's so unique, it's so refreshing. The stories of females.
Women.
You know, I love seeing female stories be told, but these twisted females, these not so perfect females, I love seeing characters that aren't these perfect, like picture perfect glimpses of womanhood, or, you know, even if it's a different story, like a gay character, or a black character, a straight character, white character, I don't care what they are, but I love seeing the twisted side of all of us. Yellowjackets does that so well by bringing us these 2 different timelines. We have the past that we've been in with our girls who crashed into the woods and they're trying to survive. This time though, they're in summer. It's a bit less brutal than the winter, but I'm sure it's going to bring out the feralness in all of our girls. And then we have our present day story. Some of the survivors of that crash who lived in the woods for that many months are now adults. And what are they doing with their adulthood? I mean, we just saw a friend get stabbed with fentanyl and just... The last season left us off on some craziness. Like, in the past stuff, the whole cabin that they were staying in burned down and the girls were on their own. And in the present day, we saw the murder of Nat. We also saw Lottie get taken away. We've seen Callie kind of get introduced to the dark side of her mother's life. All of this is happening, and I'm like, my goodness, season 3 does not let us down. At the beginning of this, these first 2 episodes are just so jam-packed, so useful of information, but it's still a mystery. I don't know everything that's happening. I can't figure out all the pieces to the puzzle yet, and I absolutely love a show that can do that. So in this video, though, I am going to be talking about the first 2 episodes, but also in this section, I'm going to be kind of just overviewing my feelings on both of them, and then we're going to get into recaps of episode 1 and episode 2. Spoilers are going to be here, but you're watching this after the episode got uploaded, so my goodness, why are you here if you do not want spoilers? But yeah, overall, I love these first 2 episodes. I think, Melanie Lynskey as an actress is just so amazing. Like, I also love Baby Shauna as well. I'm gonna call them Baby Shauna, even though they're grown-ass teenage women in that woods. But I just love this character. Shauna is such a complex, such a twisted character. And these first 2 episodes are really showing, one, how much that past is affecting our present-day Shauna. We may think Shauna is a bit wackadoo now. You know, in the second episode, she's going out to like a business meeting with her husband and just reads those men to filth. But we're also seeing that she's, for years, for decades, has not put up with shit, has not dealt with the things that other people expect her to deal with. It's amazing. We're also seeing a bit with that in Callie. Callie is starting to want her own answers. She's starting to get her own revenge on bullies, going full Carrie, pouring guts on them.
If I was Sissy Spacek in the movie Carrie, I would use my telekinesis to kill you!
It's really great. I also like to see where Misty's at as well. I love Christina Ricci. The genius that put Christina Ricci and Elijah Wood together, I want to give you every award that is possible, because my goodness, the pairing of these 2 are so great. There's a moment in episode 2 where she starts yelling at Walter, and I'm like, but I get it, but also, like, he's just trying, and maybe they're not your friends. I am so complicated, you know, my feelings are so complicated on all of these characters, on all these storylines. I absolutely love it. We also get a lot in episode 2 where I'm like, what's going on? Is it really, like, you know, I think the common question we've always had with Yellowjackets is something supernatural happening? This one is feeling so much more supernatural than the other seasons. I know we had, remember, the possessed, the haunted cabin, or we've had the antler queen and all these kind of stuff that's felt supernatural, but something about this season, watching what Travis is going through, watching what, you know, Ben is talking to some shadow person in the woods, and then just anything going on with Ty and Van, all of that seems so mystical, so weird. I love where the show is building up. These first 2 episodes are exactly what I wanted as the reintroduction to Yellowjackets. It let us know who it is, we know all the players on the board, especially in that past setting, because sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, Akila's here. Oh, this girl, oh, that girl. Like, I keep forgetting that there's more girls in here that crashed, like, especially the one at the end of episode 2, that I'm like, who is this girl making out with Shauna? Like, what is going on here? But I had to Google, I figured out her name and all that, so we'll get into that when we get into the recap. But yes, overall, I love these first 2 episodes. I'm happy to be back into this very messed up, twisted world. It's just so much fun. The acting is top notch. Even when the story gets wackadoo crazy and I don't know what's going on, the acting is at least keeping me grounded. I hope you guys feel the same. I want to know your thoughts on these first 2 episodes. This is my overview. I've given you my thoughts on Yellowjackets Season 3's first 2 episodes. If you do not want any more details, any more spoilers, this is where you guys can check off, and I'll see you after you watch the episode. But if you are wanting to know nitty-gritty details, how we are dealing with the passing of Nat, how we are dealing with summer solstice being upon us, we have so much to dive into, so let's get into the recap for our first episode, It Girl. If you've watched my Yellowjackets coverage before, I don't want to jump back and forth between timelines and be like, well, this happened here and then this happened here. We're going to be first talking about the past stuff. So, It Girl, the episode begins with our girls passing time. They've built up a nice little camp. There's cabins, there's little huts. It's kind of cute. I like what the girls have done with this. You can tell that they have moved past the winter craziness. Yes, they've eaten Javi, but we're not doing that no more. You know, we have Aquila raising ducks. We're, foraging for stuff in the forest. The deers are out. It seems to be a different time for the girls, but post-fire, I don't know. It just seems like we don't know who to trust. Shauna is still kind of an outcast, sometimes by the other girls, but sometimes by herself. And then we have Nat trying to be the queen of this all. She's running this camp. It is a hard job for her to do. It is a lot of things going on. There's a lot of moving pieces. We also have Lottie, whose face is recovered, but also she's feeding Travis some shrooms. We'll get more into that in episode 2. But yeah, I'm just like, the girls are trying to figure out what the hell to do. It's hard. I mean, they're in a more comfortable spot than they just were, but things are not easy. It's the politics are still happening. We're still trying to celebrate summer solstice, but are the girls wanting to celebrate? Are they still okay with where they're at? They seem chiller, but it just seems like they've now accepted that they are lost crazy women, and they're just living within that lost craziness. They still have done some unforgivable things, but at the same time they did it for survival, so they're just trying to enjoy their summer. This is like summer break for the girls, and honestly, I can't blame them for just trying to live their lives. The biggest part of here is we start to see that Mari and Shauna relationship. They are not getting along at all. The heads are being butted to the point where, like, Mari at the end of this episode just leaves. I'm not dealing with any of this.
I don't know. I just don't think this is like great for me. I don't want to do it.
I understand it at the same time. I just don't think that we need to be dividing. I mean, Shauna is on her own thing. She does not like Nat as the leader. She doesn't really trust it. She just doesn't really like anything that's going on. Van and Ty, who should be her friends, are kind of just building their own relationship. They're trying to fall in line. Who do we fall in line with? What do we go? It's confusing for a lot of these girls. Who is the true leader? Do they even need a leader? They might, because we have Coach Ben just roaming the woods, being just absolute crazy person. Like, he seems lost and crazy, but at the same time, I mean, he stumbles upon this big hole that has a bunch of, like, wartime, or, like those kind of, like, emergency food packets that we give to soldiers and stuff. He finds a bunch of those. I mean, to a point where episode 2, he's drinking hot chocolate with Mari. So I'm like, oh, he seems to be well put together enough to make a trap, enough to know that this is food that he should be enjoying. It's interesting to see where Ben is, and I just feel like he is building up something to go against the girls. Like, it's confusing, it's conflicted, but at the same time, I like to see him, and I just like to see him working against the girls, but we don't know that yet. Like, we don't know what he's trying to build up to. I'm confused where Ben is, and I see it, and honestly, he doesn't want to be at the camp, because the girls aren't even doing what they need to be doing. Mari and Shauna are getting into it. I mean, Shauna spits in her food, Mari dumps out food, which, girl, you don't have a lot of food. You're eating like trash. Her spit ain't gonna do shit to you. You might as well just ate that meal, because now what? You're on house arrest, and then you want to leave because you're on house arrest because you don't really like it. It's Mari and Shauna, just their drama seems so petty to the point where I'm like, well, Mari, look, that kneecap came out of place. Now you're held hostage by a crazy man in episode 2. We'll talk about that then. But yeah, I'm just like, where are we going to go with the girls? And we kind of accumulate to this big summer solstice celebration, just seeing the girls trying to live their lives and just enjoy the shortest night of or the shortest day of the year or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. The past stuff in this episode isn't as juicy as the present day stuff, where I think episode 2, the past stuff is far more juicier. You know, it seems like we toss back and forth. So that is it for kind of what I have of the past stuff in episode 1. Now let's get into the present day, where, my goodness, Shauna is doing the damn thing. Her daughter is crazy. Oh my god, they're the same person. I love that Shauna and Callie are starting to become the same girl. The present days does start with Callie smoking some chronic, as her mom calls it. And her mom ends up smoking that chronic herself. Yeah, they're at odds with each other. They just seem to be butting heads. You know, I'm like, girl, you just saw what could happen when you are against me, or what's happening. Like, you know, you shot Lottie, Nat's dead. Why are we beefing with each other? What is going on? But Callie's going through her own stuff at school. The girls are talking about all the other girls that, you know, the survivors. The bullies get bullied, and yeah, Callie ends up throwing like guts all over them. It's gross. It's crazy. She got it delivered. That's what blew my mind most, is I'm like, you could just have animal guts delivered. Brings me back a little bit to watching Buffy, when Angel would just get like animal blood picked up, and I'm like, no one's questioning this? No one questioned why am I packaging up a bunch of guts? Anyways, so this whole kind of episode's really built around the Nat funeral, or so I thought, because that Nat funeral is 2 seconds. We have Van, Ty, and Shauna there. We also have Misty, not handling this well at all. Her and Walter's relationship is really cute. Walter seems to be overbearing, like, well, where are your friends? Where is this? You know, Misty goes out, you know, finds Nat's jacket in a storage unit, goes out, gets drunk, tries to be Nat, to the point where Walter's just like, you called all your girlfriends, ain't none of them come to pick you up, I'm here.
Okay, this can be applied to real life.
She just is like refusing to acknowledge the trauma that she dealt with. She lost her best friend. Yes, maybe Nat and her weren't like, you know, holding hands, skipping down the road, best friends, but they still were very close. So it's hard to see this from Misty. You know, Callie deals with her bullies. Then we also have Ty and Van building their relationship up a bit. I like it. They're very cute together. They, you know, they go on a date, they dine and dash. Okay, cool, fine, but when they dine and dash, the waiter that's going after them, you know, has a heart attack. And it's like, what is that connected to? Like, is anyone connected, you know, who run into Van and Ty going to end up dying? Is this how Van is going to stay alive from the weird mysticism that's going on? This is where I said in the beginning, where things are getting weirdly supernatural, and I can't place it yet, but I'm just like, what is going on? What is the exact thing here? But they have a really cool makeout session, to the point where, you know, I'm like, oh, after the guy died, and then we see a mysterious figure in the back. Ty's good old demon friend who's been watching her still there. I need my girl to just get on some medicine. I need her to figure out the Zoloft or the Prozac or whatever my girl needs to, like, figure out what's going on in her head. But Ty is cuckoo banana pants crazy, and it seems like it's not going to get better if you go by episode 2. I think one of the highlights that's going to be a big mystery going on is a tape that was left for, I believe, Shauna at the end of the episode, but Callie has it now. Callie is going to use it. Like, Callie's weird relationship with her mom is strange. Like, they're the same person. Acknowledge that you're the same person. I know that it's a teenage girl, never wants to acknowledge that she is just her mom, but like, as a 30-year-old man now, 30-something-year-old man, I'm realizing me and my mom are much more similar, and it's actually helped our relationship. I think Callie needs to get on that with Shauna and realize that you both are crazy cuckoo pants women. Maybe Callie needs some time in the woods. Maybe we need to ship that girl off to some, you know, Camp Arawak and sleepaway camp, see if she survives that. But yes, Callie gets the package, and we start seeing that brew up, but it really kicks off in episode 2, which we're going to be talking about right now. Ooh, this is a marathon of a video to do. Oh my goodness. All right, episode 2 begins dislocation. Mari's in Ben's hole. Wait, that sounds... Okay, Ben had that hole that he put a tarp over, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Mari's trapped now. She dislocates her leg. Ben has to help her fix it. Okay, and then she's like, oh, cool, I'm going to get out of here. Ben has helped me, and now I'm his prisoner. And now he lives in a cave, and she's in the cave with him. And I'm like, oh, Mari, girl, you really thought running away was going to be the option? Now you're stuck with a crazy man in the woods.
Oh. All right.
You know, he's claiming he didn't set the fire. She is just like, you're a crazy man. And she's like, okay, you gave me hot chocolate. But then we see him, like, talking to a shadow person in there. I'm like, so what is going on with Ben? Like, Coach Ben just... I don't want him to die because he's like our only man other than Travis in the past story. But I'm also like, I'm just kind of done with his craziness. I need him to lose the other leg or something. I just need something interesting to happen to him because I don't know where his character's going, and I just hope it's not a waste of time. The show has not done that to us often. So we also have Shauna still wants nothing to do with the group. We have Lottie feeding Travis shrooms to get him to see something, to feel something. I mean, he's really affected by what's going on. I mean, he almost attacks Lottie at one point, to the point where Akila's like, here's one of my like ducks. I don't know, hold the duck, calm down, breathe. But yeah, Travis is like, the stuff that's happened with him, he's talking to this other thing, and what's Lottie trying to bring out of him? Lottie loves to make other people crazy, even though I just think she's the sole crazy one. We'll talk about Lottie in the present day in a moment. But yeah, I'm like, what is Lottie doing with Travis? Like, what is her end goal with him? What is she trying to dig out of him? Yeah, so Akila has the ducks now. Everything seems to be okay in this story, in this present day. Other than Shauna, who is just a mess. But then she meets, I believe, Melissa. I thought she was a new girl. I thought Melissa just was... we just keep finding girls. Like Akila last season when she was just hanging out with a little rat friend. Oh, okay, cool. But now this season, this girl pops up and Shauna's like, you get away from me. She has a knife. I will kill you. And the girl just kisses Shauna. Shauna, I need to tell you how much you hate Jeff. Maybe you're gay. Maybe, Shauna, maybe the Jackie thing wasn't just some weird jealousy, BFF stuff. Maybe you're just gay, and maybe this girl can help Shauna integrate back into the group a little bit better, because I don't know what is up with Shauna in this past stuff. I mean, she lost her baby, which she's still traumatized over that. They bring that up in the Solstice thing of, like, these all the lives that we lost. Shauna's like, I don't want to hear about my baby. Yeah, we have some stuff going on with Shauna, but I just need her to, like... I just need her to be less crazy because I like her and I want her to work with this group. But now she, Misty tells Shauna at one point, I think Nat's knows where the coach is. So there's going to be a lot of political stuff going on. Nat as the queen is not working out well. It could. She still has time to turn it around. But I definitely think her and Shauna are going to butt heads, especially over the coach stuff, because maybe Nat's trying to protect him. Who knows the exact reasoning for it now? But what we have now, it's crazy. It's good. It's juicy. Is Shauna going to be in a new relationship? What is going on with Travis and Lottie? And can Nat run the camp? I love where we left off with our younger selves. Now let's jump into the present day story because it is a lot juicier in this episode. Lottie comes to stay with Shauna. Yes, the weirdest roommate you can ever have is here. She's out of the cuckoo bin. And she's just like, so, Shauna, I need a place to stay. I'll babysit Callie because you and Jeff have something. So, Shauna calls Misty to be the babysitter to the babysitter, basically. And it's just like, watch what these are going. Watch what's happening here. Shauna and Jeff go to, this dinner business stuff. Jeff's trying to sell his furniture to a hotel. They're skeezy. She reads this Nepo baby to filth. But she also has a really weird moment in the bathroom where she finds a phone. She is being stalked by a mysterious person. We don't know what's going on with Shauna yet. Is this attached to Melissa that we've seen as her new lover? What is going on there with Shauna? It's really good, but at Shauna's house, that's my favorite part of this episode. They're listening to Fiona Apple. They're having a sleepover. Misty, Lottie, and Callie are just bonding, just getting along, but Callie's trying to poke. What happened in the woods? Did y'all eat people? What's going on? And Lottie's trying to not answer everything, but answer everything. Misty is just too much, but they basically get Misty too drunk, so she can't really do anything. But Lottie does start to kind of open up to Shauna, or to Callie, and we're starting to see that Callie is a lot more similar to her mother, that Callie does need to maybe listen to these girls a little bit. I like what was happening with Lottie and Callie here. I think there's an interesting bond to be had, because they're both crazy women, but, if Callie doesn't want to recognize that she's her mom's level of crazy, maybe she can recognize that she is at least a Lottie level of crazy. We have that person following Shauna. We also have more of Van and Ty in this episode. Ty tries to go back and be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry for running out on the food. And they're like, okay. Oh yeah, that guy died last night, by the way, because of this. So Van's happening, or Ty's spinning around with that. Van's also like, hey, I injured my foot. Did her foot heal already? Is she just impervious to things now? She was dying last season that we know. She already in the first episode was like, oh, well, I already signed my do not resuscitate, all that. But what is going on with Van? Has she been healed? Is she bulletproof now? What is going to go on with her? We're seeing a lot of the weird machinings of the mysticism of this. What's going on with Ty? Is she still going to be sleepwalking? She saw that weird blind guy in the last episode. Then she goes to throw the matches in the fire and she's getting lost in the fire. I need to know what is happening with Ty because I love this character, but she's just crazy. Adult Ty is far crazier than anything younger Ty, I think, will ever do. But yes, episode 2, Dislocation, ends with Melissa and Shauna, I believe that is her name, please correct me if I'm wrong, trying to figure out the girls who only are background girls into their main girls. It's kind of hard. But yes, Shauna and her begin what could be a very complicated and compelling and gross relationship, but I'm excited to see. I like the way these 2 episodes have flowed. I think I was at first, I'm like, oh, 2 episodes at once, this is going to be so hard to review. Then they sent it to me early, so it was a little bit easier, but I'm like, oh my god, like, where do we go? What is going on? How do we figure this out? Like, these 2 episodes are so well connected, and then episode 3, I don't want to say it blows up everything, but it is worth the watch. Well, that is it for my review of the first 2 episodes of Yellowjackets. Sorry I don't have a bunch of footage to put all over me talking. This was a lot more of EJ's face this episode. I am so sorry for that. Ooh, but yes, I am going to kind of get back into the regular flow of the recaps and reviews, probably being posted the morning of the episodes dropping. I was able to drop this episode, well, episode 1 and 2, and episode 3 right at 3 in the morning when they jump up onto, streaming and all that. But the next couple episodes will be placed more in that Friday morning time, less Friday 3 a.m., more Friday like 9 a.m., so keep it in the mind of, hey, EJ, Friday's Yellowjackets Day, and we have Dexter finishing up. My goodness, we have so much going on, and I'm about to rank all the Ryan Murphy shows, and I've had to watch shows that I've never seen before. Yeah, we have a lot going on this channel, so make sure you guys have subscribed. What did you think of Yellowjackets episode 1 and 2? Are you liking where season 3 is going off? Are you still a little scared about this show? Share your thoughts down in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. All right, guys, let's talk about Yellowjackets right down below.